I just wanted to do a quick video for friends and others who might see this, who are just thinking about the year ahead, the new year 2021, and looking forward. And sometimes these times in between Christmas and New Year, for us in the UK, is quite dark and cold and a bit grey, and sometimes you're trying to work through the decisions about next year, and it feels also there's an uncertainty that's still there, a bit of possibilities on the horizon, but we all know that there's still quite a lot of uncertainty around things like COVID and Brexit for us as well. It's quite a big deal at the moment, so trying to plan for 2021 is a strange business at the moment, isn't it? So whatever your situation is and wherever you are in the world and whatever the circumstances you face, I just want to pray pray for those who will watch this, and I want to pray that you will find God's peace right now in these days that are ahead of us. May God open a door for you, and a door of encouragement and opportunity. And even if it feels like some of the doors of possibilities have felt really shut for you this last year, and things that you felt were going to be opening up and opportunities you expected to happen, didn't work out perhaps the way you thought they should do, which I'm sure is pretty much true for a lot of people. It's a very, very widespread challenge we had in 2020. So I just want to pray that you will be encouraged to find that God is opening up doors again and giving you a fresh opportunity to live for Him, to serve Him, to love Him, to honour Him, and whatever the limitations of our circumstances, God can use us and take hold of our lives. Whatever the day holds, whatever the uncertainties are, God can use us. And I just think so much this last year, I've been thinking about, from time to time, about Paul in prison, and quite a fair whack of time in his ministry. We often think of him as being somebody who was racing around and very active and able to do loads of things and always on the go, on the move. But there were quite long periods of time where actually not only was he in one place, but the decisions around that were not within his control at all. He was under house arrest, he was in prison, he was in a lot of uncertainty about when that prison sentence might end or what might happen to him. It wasn't even that it was very clearly defined what the length of time was for him about when things were going to change and he was going to have his freedom. And so he faced that quite a lot. And for someone who was highly motivated, a real sort of up and go person, having that sort of inability to make big decisions about your life and what was going to happen in 2 weeks' time, 6 months' time, a year's time, must have been incredibly difficult. But nevertheless, he put the time to good use, and as a result, many of the New Testament letters were written while he was in prison. So I pray that whatever the limitations and the outside restrictions on your life, whatever the things are that are outside of your control, don't worry about those things so much. They are sometimes real stresses and pressures, and I understand they're going to be very difficult as well. I'm not saying that makes life easy, but I want to pray that we wouldn't get all the focus on those things. I'm really struck at the moment how we can feel a lot of energy and frustration at the things that we can't change, or the things that we feel are limiting us and restricting us. But in a way, I think that's not the thing to focus on. The thing to focus on is, what can we do? What has God given us the opportunity for? What is in front of us that we can do? And there are so many possibilities that we can do, so many things that we can do, so many opportunities that God is presenting to us, and some of those might not be things that we've already planned for at all. And I was thinking yesterday about some of the life circumstances that have happened for me in recent years, and there's a particular situation where I've happened to be involved with someone's life, and it wasn't because I made a big plan for that to happen. It just, circumstances happened and I had to step up to the situation and take responsibility in it, and felt, you know, I'm not the most equipped, perhaps, you know, or the most able. It's not my area of strength and expertise, but nevertheless I just found myself in a circumstance that I needed to step up and you know, do what I needed to do, and that was God's opportunity for me. So there might be circumstances we face and we think, oh, I never quite planned to be in that position, but that is the life circumstance I'm in, and I'm just going to let God use me. And Lord, I just pray for all of us, wherever we feel we may be, situation is upon us that we don't feel fully equipped for, but we're like Simon of Cyrene, we're pressed into service. We suddenly find we don't really have much choice in the matter, but this is what's happened. But look at what happened to him and the role that he played, and he didn't know that day what was going to happen. He walked out the door, I'm sure, leaving wherever he was staying and thinking like, okay, I'm just going to carry on the day that I've got to, these, you know, tasks I've got to do in Jerusalem, or I'm going to go and do this or do that or do the other. He never had a clue that he would have such a significant role in history. So you don't know when you walk out the door and head off for the day, whether your life is going to be impacting other people's lives for eternity, and you know, anything can happen within a day that can alter the course of history for you and for other people. So I pray that God would use you, that you would be like Simon of Cyrene, maybe not in circumstances that you chose, maybe not in a situation that you had planned necessarily, a role that you expected, but I pray that God would lead you and show you and use you in every circumstance that you find yourself, and also that God would give you wisdom how to plan for this year ahead, with its complexities that still might be there. I pray for wisdom in that as well, and bless you for 2021.